गुड इवनिंग and welcome to Gunner Shot. Gunner Shot में आप सबका स्वागत है. Today we're going to look at the India-US relationship and see, is there a way forward? That's the examination, right? If you look back, 1 year back, we were all gung-ho. President Trump was in chair. Things were all going well. And there was a lot of expectancy about the strategic relationship between India and USA. Today, where is it? That relationship is in tatters. We have a relationship which is not strategic. We have a relationship which both countries can't get out of. And upfront, I'm saying both countries need each other. Well, a lot of talk about the India-US relationship is emotional, it is rhetoric, and a lot of it is reactionary. It's reactionary. We can keep going about, it's a chicken and egg story, which came first. But the fact is, we are here where we are. We need to go forward. Like I said, there is no turning back. You can't, turning back to 25 years back. And we'll talk of that historic thing because understanding that historic thing is important. Okay? The historic trajectory of this relationship is important. Where we were and where we are and where we have to go forward. Okay, why did I start this topic today? I saw this article in Foreign Affairs, and of course, I was doing my reading and research, and it was by Lisa Curtis, who I think writes very well, and Richard Fontaine. I mean, I've not read him, but Lisa Curtis I've been following. And it says in Foreign Affairs, America must salvage its relationship with India. So they're talking of salvaging. It's a salvaging operation because there's a shipwreck. You do salvaging of a shipwreck, isn't it? Or a relationship which is wrecked. But they make a case from their point of view, American point of view. And this is a case which is, I thought, both of them put out very cogent arguments as to why this relationship needs to be salvaged or rather rebuilt. Let me not go negative about it. Why it needs to be rebuilt. Well thought out. And this is generally the thought process of many Americans. At people to people level, at a think tank level, everyone says this relationship is almost indispensable for the world. But at the government to government level, there's reluctance on both sides. It's been built over, and it started with Opsindur. Till Opsindur, everything was okay. And we know the history. There's no point in saying he's at fault, I'm at fault. It's there. That's where we are. How do you get out of it? If you get into the blame game of, what he said and what I did and what I said and what he did, we'll be in this spiral. Right. And hence, it's not only Richard Fontaine and Lisa Curtis. I saw this, it's there in the Twitter. I mean, there's nothing very great. The CSIS, Center for Strategic and International Studies, this discussion between Rick McCormack, who's Rick or Rich, I mean, I don't know how it's spelled, but RICH is his first name, McCormack. He's a veteran and a congressman and a Republican. And the person on the right is Ami Bera, who is a Democrat. So across, it's a bipartisan kind of a thing. I mean, I wouldn't put it as to what level they are, how they're regarded in their respective parties. That's different. Let it be what it is. How influential they are. But I thought they spoke sense. And they spoke from an American point of view. Okay. So let's hear them because it's in 2, 3 clips. I think we need to hear because most of us have got out of the habit of listening to each other. And it is one of the reasons why I take a lot of questions. Whether you're a member or not, whether you're a subscriber or not, when you come up and put your questions, I take a lot of questions. Of course, those trolls and the guys who from China and Pakistan, I ignore them. But let's hear these people. Let's hear what they say, and let's see what the points they're making, which is important. Yeah.
Sure, but we'll get through this. Interesting you mentioned Pakistan too. People don't realize that they have almost 300 million people in their country too, but they don't bring the investment here and vice versa too. So India is not only taking investment, they're also giving investment. And
so that's the first thing he says. India is not only taking investments, it's giving investments. It's a two-way street, the point which he's making, right? And that isn't applicable for Pakistan. Unfortunately, in this dialogue, they started with Pakistan with some kind of hyphenation, but I'll disregard it. Okay.
To watch them kind of grow as a nation and actually spread their wings and start to establish themselves as a dominant country in a lot of regions. I think as they develop, you'll see that huge middle class just coming to bear on the world market.
So he's talking of growth. Then this huge middle class coming onto the world market. Right? He's spoken more. Right? We'll go over it one by one.
Sure.
And what does he say further?
They have some real advantages in the way they're approaching businesses right now. And people should be very, not concerned, but very aware of that so that we can work synergistically. We embrace them as friends. We usher in that peace, that prosperity for the rest of the world. If we alienate them, it's going to be big trouble for all of us. And I mean that sincerely. Big trouble for them too, quite frankly. But we have to lead the way. We are still the...
So what he says is, if we embrace them, it's good for all, both. If we don't, it's bad for both. That's common sense, actually. And then he says, look, we are the world leaders. We have to take them along. Which I thought was very interesting.
We will set the bar for that relationship. And everything that President Trump or President Biden or anybody else who's going to be president, I hope they put that at the top of their strategic priority list.
Yeah. Right? So they're talking of at the top. And in this thing, he said, I can understand why Mr. Modi is doing what he's doing, because he's not doing it against America. He's doing it for India. That's in context of the Russian oil, which is we are buying. This is fairly common. Everyone knows these 2, 3 clips, but I thought I'll set the stage for all this. What we're going to talk further. Okay. And what does Ami Bera say?
We're not creating a strategic partnership with Pakistan. You don't see Americans.
So he says we are not creating a strategic partnership with Pakistan. He's talking of a strategic partnership with India. That's the first distinction he makes.
Companies making multi-billion-dollar investments in Pakistan. That's all happening in India. I went to Western Naval Command because we should talk about the Indian Ocean region as well. And that's an important place where we were a little bit slow in the Pacific Islands.
So the point he's making is we need to focus on the Indian Ocean region. He says we were slow in the Pacific Islands. That's when the Chinese made their little artificial islands in the South China Sea, and they took the rise off the ball. They know it. And if they do something similar, foolish out here, it's gone. If these two things happen, their idea of world domination and all that is over. They know it. And they don't have legs on ground, boots on ground here. The only one who can put boots on ground is India in the Indian Ocean. Right? Yeah, let's see.
In South China Sea, we can't make that same mistake in the Indian Ocean region. India will be critical in keeping the peace, maritime security, freedom of navigation in that region as well. They get it.
So he's talking of we can't make the same mistake again because India will be critical, right? And then, of course, McCormack, he spoke in some other forum, and this is what he had to say in that forum. What I'm saying is, this is consistent view people are holding. I can get 10 more views, but this is which is latest, so I thought I'll put it up. Yeah.
We have an imperialistic outlook, neither do they. But you're seeing that region, which China is absolutely trying to dominate, trying to assert its economic dominance as well as its military dominance. We need a strong ally. There's nobody who's going to be as strong as India into the future as they increase their GDP.
He says there's nobody going to be who's going to be in that region as strong as India in the future. They know it. I mean, this is irreversible.
Investment into IT, into the military, and they continue to be great producers of products that we need. And we need a friendly country that can produce those things, and it's going to create those economic ties with us. And I'd ultimately love to see us not just be friends, but be true allies. We pledge our friendship where your enemies are my enemies, your friends are my friends, and we should have like an AUKUS type agreement where we should be sharing technology that will help defend our nations and make us stronger throughout the world.
All right. Well, let's stay on that topic.
So
We have an imperialistic outlook.
So fine. So he's talking of an alliance. Well, that's a view. Okay, granted to him. That's what he wants. We might poo-poo it and have a counter to it, everything. But that's his view. It's a very positive view. He wants India as an ally. It's a different thing. You don't get into allies and you have a thing. But he is looking at a positive relationship. And this is a thing which is echoed across the board. But even to get to being an ally, you need to first be a friend. You need to have a good relationship. That relationship today is missing. Okay. And this relationship between India and USA has to be understood in its entirety. I already see some comments, but we'll see. I'm sure many of what I say and what I talk today, the points I put across, will answer many of your things. In fact, I'm not going to take the first 20, 30 questions. I'd request all of you to wait and then shoot your questions and then we'll answer them. In fact, today I'll answer questions from the bottom. So wait till I speak, listen first, use your head and then put your questions. Okay? And I'll take it. Okay. So what we'll do is, let's first look at the historical perspective. We need to understand. Look, till the turn of the century, India and US were at odds with each other. I would say we were on the opposite sides of the fence, everywhere. Okay. 71 war was the peak and it went on till our nuclear tests, Op Vijay, right? That is the Kargil thing. We were at the opposite sides. It was around that time that suddenly and mind you, at that prevalent time, there was radical Islam all around. USA was, 9/11 had happened. For the first time, probably USA was attacked at home. And they also knew those attacks came from Pakistan, basically. Or people trained by Pakistan, whom they had trained in any case. They knew, they know. There's no point in saying, oh, you trained them first. They know this. They know the situation in which they fell into. That's when they realized that, look, and by then it was very clear that we talk about the turn of the century, that China, they didn't know which way it was going, though they were piloting China into the WTO. And they'd taken the bet on China. But they realized if they needed India at that time. And India also realized at that point of time, we were in the throes of problems with Pakistan. Many of you don't understand. Many of you don't know. Right? I was a commanding officer of Vijay time. We were deployed there. Right? And I keep saying, I mean, it is my good fortune or bad fortune that I didn't go to the icy heights of Kargil. but went next door where we were to go across. Unfortunately, the Pakis folded up. Otherwise, I would have been sitting somewhere else across, right? Anyway, that's a different story. So things were different. And that was a time when India did think, and rightly so at that time, that it's time we started repairing our relationship with USA. And this idea of a strategic partnership started. Like I said here, 9/11 and rise of China and things. And India and USA at that point of time had no choice but to be with each other. It was Thorpe Talbot and uh, or then foreign minister, defense minister, a man of many hats, Mr. Jaswant Singh, who started this dialogue. And their dialogue reached to the presidents and the prime ministers. And it continued, whether it was Obama or Bush or whoever it was there, right? Or on our side, whether it was Mr. Manmohan Singh or Mr. Narendra Modi or Mr. Vajpayee. The whole thing started during Mr. Vajpayee's time, a time of great shifts. We even righted our relationship with China. And part of the story is we encouraged the rise of China by virtually recognizing Tibet around that time. Otherwise, we had not recognized Tibet then. So the world turned for us. And in that turn, we saw our problem then, Max, was Pakistan. The only way you could contain Pakistan, and we knew that over the horizon, China will be our problem, was USA. And USA also felt so. And then the strategic partnership started. I still remember President Obama and Mr. Manmohan Singh talking and discussing and saying, this is the partnership of the century. And this partnership will define the 21st century. A lot of hope. And that story continued. Its story continued well when Mr. Obama came for reviewing the Republic Day parade. He came. Those of you who don't know, I've seen it. Because I was sitting in the next enclosure. Okay. A lot of things. After all, and this went through President Obama, President Bush, President Obama, Trump, and Biden, and now back to Trump till last year. Then, of course, it broke down. We know it. We've had some foundational agreements, military agreements. They're still valid today. They're not runaway. Okay? You've had the General Security of Military Information Agreement. You had BECA, everything, logistics, everything. They're still operative. And that edifice is not gone. It's still there. The base is there. It's there. Then you had the civil nuclear deal, 1, 2, 3 agreements. At that time, a lot of people said, why do you need that agreement? It's a waste. Nothing happened. Yeah, but today it is slowly paying itself out. It will. Later, you enlarge the strategic partnership to many other things. I said this, that, everything. Before anything could get actuated, technology transfer, a lot of misgivings on both sides, no doubt. You could say that we wanted technology, they never gave us technology. They would say they want only technology and nothing else. We're two different societies. Societally, we are far different. The Americans don't understand us, we don't understand the Americans. At people to people level, the understanding is different. At government to government level, the understanding is different. That has to happen because of this. From 47 to, the time when we were born till the turn of the century, we were enemies. Our worldviews have not changed. Our societies have not changed. But we got intertwined and we'll come to that. We've had our ups and downs. Then, of course, Ukraine started. things started going a little wayward, and then Sindoor happened, and then we are broken. What I do maintain, and I have no doubt about that, when Op Sindoor happened, USA made a choice. They made a choice of spurning India. Okay? And true partners don't make those choices. True partners don't make the choice which America made. We still have a choice. India still has a choice. It has not exercised its choice. Before, around the 71 war, we exercised the choice. We said, we don't want America. We can live without America. We made that choice then. But now we have not yet made that choice. We are still living in that. Right. Let's get back to a bit of a start point. What are the fundamentals of the strategic partnership? On paper, the partnership still exists. On ground, it might not. And if you go by what's on paper, what is the partnership between India and USA? It's a global strategic partnership based on shared democratic values and increasing convergence of interests on bilateral, regional, and global issues. Supposed to be. But there's a huge divergence in this. We'll talk of it. What are these convergences? What are these divergences in bilateral, regional, and global issues? And the relationship between India and USA is broad based and multi sectoral. And there is a bipartisan political convergence on either side of the divide, both in India and USA. And if you look at it, and I've thought over it, there is no choice. India and USA need each other. Many of you might say, no, this fellow is Anglophile. No. He leans towards USA. That's not the case. If I don't need the USA, I don't need it. I'll live without it. But if you do a rational assessment, India needs USA as much as USA needs India. On that, we shouldn't have a doubt, and they don't have a doubt. Most of them don't have a doubt. It is only some guys will come and talk. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is let's look at the convergences, let's look at the divergences, and let's look at what's in between. I'm coming to the meat of my subject now. What are the convergences? The defense deals. Very important. We've had some major defense deals. Your entire strategic fleet of aircraft is from USA. And that fleet will last you for the next 25 years. You cannot get out of it. I'm just giving you one. We have more guns, ammunition. People say, oh, why we don't need USA? Look, we should be honest to admit that we used precision ammunition to take 7 targets out during Op Sindoor. Much as you don't like what other things of Op Sindoor are, right, of the way Mr. Trump has behaved, it is those rounds, those precision ammunition which we use to take out 7 targets. You can't run away from it. And you want it back, and you have placed an order for more. How do you say I don't like USA but I want that ammunition? Okay? We can't be stupid on those things. So the defense deals are there. And they also need it, because if these defense deals don't happen, their companies suffer. It's a convergence. And it has taken us 25 years to start dealing with each other. Okay? The first deal with the US, I was just a brigadier those days. I saw it happen. Lot of problems. We learned. We have got over a hump. Let me tell you, it was a great hump. It was the first deal was ANTPQ 37 WLR. It still serves us. I think it's a very good WLR even today, 25 years later. But that deal was the worst deal we made. Even the Americans felt that was the worst deal they made. We made. But we worked for 25 years to make it a success. We knew both USA and India. I'm talking about the working level relationship. It became a matter of prestige for the US people that this WLR functions here in high altitude. And they came wherever they had to come to make it function. And in some cases, they went back, Raytheon, they went back and came back with parts duly amended, duly rectified, duly with a little bit of research and input so that it functions in high altitude. So we need to understand this. It's a huge convergence. And with that, we increase the military to military contacts and exercises. And then it's only then, 25 years, I've seen this happen. I've done some exercises with them. That understanding has come. I still remember in the East when I went to the counterinsurgency and jungle warfare school at Verangte. Many of you won't even know where Verangte is, it's in Mizoram. We were teaching the Americans how to carry out counterinsurgency and jungle warfare. I don't know if we are still teaching them at that time, yes. I remember speaking to them, American forces. Or people went, even General Bipin Rawat. I mean, those of you who don't know, incidentally, General Bipin Rawat had done his course in War College in USA. And he was adjudged the best student there. And much later, he was given a sword of honor there. Those relationships have been there, contacts are there, understanding. And Lord in battle comes from understanding each other. And I'm sure they are continuing after uh, till late last year. A battalion went to Alaska to train with them, and they keep coming. Just 2 months back, you had a defense framework agreement agreed between Mr. Pete Hegseth and Mr. Rajnath Singh. A 10-year defense framework agreement to take the whole thing forward. You don't go into a defense framework agreement with someone you don't like. In Afghanistan, you have huge convergence. There's no doubt about it. Okay? Today, Afghanistan is only amenable to India. It's not amenable to Pakistan. Even China, if you see how Afghanistan has been behaving with China, it's iffy. Yeah, USA has a track with Afghanistan. But here you have a convergence. Both of us need Afghanistan. Both of us need Afghanistan for many things. Look, Afghanistan is critical geopolitically. It is the core of Central Asia, West Asia, and South Asia. And it connects to China. It's the core. Are we using that convergence to good effect for both of us? It's a point to think. If USA thinks that it can, get into Afghanistan through Iran or Pakistan, or for that matter, Turkmenistan or Kazakhstan or wherever, then they're living in La La Land. You have to remember, the Afghanistan cricket team is largely based in India. Then what about Sri Lanka? The convergence in Sri Lanka is what made Sri Lanka today. And I still remember at that point of time, we shouldn't forget this is the history, shared history we bring along. USA let India take the lead in Sri Lanka and ensure that Sri Lanka recovered back. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done it. And we helped Sri Lanka because USA was at our back. I thought that was a huge convergence. Unfortunately, Bangladesh happened. There was a flip side of the story was divergence. We'll talk of that also. Venezuela. Well, anyone can say anything they want about Venezuela, well, good, bad, or ugly operation. Why USA did it and all. But I think USA did us a great favor. I think, as far as I'm concerned, the way things are happening in Venezuela, I'm absolutely okay with it. Sooner or later, our money to the tune of $1 billion is locked up there. We'll get it. You can get oil from there. Or wells. ONJC and OVL can go and restart. And USA will facilitate. No one else can facilitate. So there's convergence. Look, some of these convergences, divergences, I'm just listing it out as it came to me in my mind. But this is something we need to understand. Unless you look at the whole picture, and if you look at it in a segregated manner and all that, you will only get a small picture and a distorted picture. Now let's look at the divergence. I'll come to the in between a little later. BRICS and SCO. Sure, USA doesn't want us there. We should be no part of SCO and BRICS. But have we ever told them it's good for India to be in SCO and BRICS so that it doesn't form into an anti-American alliance while being useful for us, while keeping China engaged? Has someone told them that? Has America realized it? There is an exercise going on today off the south, off the coast of South Africa. Supposed to be a BRICS naval exercise. We said, no, it's not a BRICS naval exercise. It's your exercise. We are not part of it. Has someone appreciated that? Has someone appreciated the fact that when Mr. Modi went to Japan, he went to SCO meet last November. He made sure he didn't stay there for the military parade. He came back. He just went for the SCO meet and made a point against China and came back. Have we mentioned this? No. Has someone in USA started understanding it? If tomorrow a BRICS currency doesn't come up, it's thanks to India. And our external affairs minister is on record to say we don't see any other currency except the dollar. I'm trying to put a case across where we need to understand each other. And it gives India a leeway, and USA must understand. If India has a growing economy, it needs a bit of a leeway. After all, I can't wish away the fact that many people, members of the BRICS, are our neighbors with whom we have a problem. They don't have a problem with China as much as we have a problem with China. We share a boundary. We have to handle China hands on. We'll talk of that in between later. What about tariffs? Why tariffs for 50% for against India only? Completely incongruent. What about visa and migration? I do understand that USA will put visa restrictions on this H1B and all that, so that illegal guys or spurious guys don't go. That's understandable. I'm also not for allowing useless Indians to go there and spoil our name and become crooks out there. But migration, why deny people of Indian origin migration if they want to migrate? At the same time, you allow Khalistanis migration and give them shelter. You well know that Khalistan, the guys, it was an insurrection against India. Shouldn't they have that sense to take care of it? That's not how partners behave. Forget about allies. So, is there a case for us to sit and talk this out? Or we've not spoken about it? On one side, we say we are a strategic partner. On the other side, visa is denied to genuine people, and visas and migration and whatever is denied to genuine people and given to crooks and terrorists and people who want to divide this country. So there has to be some way of sorting this out. What about Pakistan? I understand. USA engaging with Pakistan is good for us because it keeps Pakistan engaged. Because we can't, engage Pakistan directly. And Pakistan will not be amenable to us. But we should be very clear as a partner or as an ally or whatever in a strategic relationship what our common equation with Pakistan is. Don't do with Pakistan something which is inimical to India. Like we don't do anything inimical against USA in BRICS or SCO. In fact, we do things for them. Right? And Russian oil. Russian oil is not to support Russia. You might think so, but where do I get oil from? Many people in USA understand this. Our deal with Russia was facilitated by America. When you have a strategic relationship, and if it has to change with every president on every second day, it's not a relationship, it's not an alliance. Thank God we are not an ally, that we had to depend on them. And our relationship with Russia is not now, it goes back. When India was in need, it was Russia which helped us. Of course, we understand where Russia is today. In terms of arms ammunition, from a dependency on Russian arms up to 70%, you're now down to about 30%. And we are never going to be dependent on Russian arms for more than 30%. And if USA doesn't give us the latest arms and technology, we have to go anywhere else. It's my money, it's my life, it's my side. They have to understand this. And I think they do understand this. Unless there is an alternate way for the way we have to get oil and things like that, or energy. I don't have shale oil. I don't have crude oil. I don't have light crude or heavy crude in India or in the Indian Ocean. 80% of my crude oil requirements come from abroad. Import. I have to spread my basket. Then don't they know it? They know it. And if you are partners, you don't force each other's hands. You have a problem with Ukraine, sort it out. That's the next point. Ukraine is your headache. You want to close the deal out with Putin, please do. I mean, we can't be on the same side. The same Ukraine kicked us out at a point of time. They felt that we were useless. We understand that Pakistan is giving 155 mm ammunition to Ukraine. We are not up to, we are not interested in that. Go ahead. What about Bangladesh? See the mess we've been left with. You didn't like Sheikh Hasina for some reason. We could have handled it the way we handled Sri Lanka. What do you do with Bangladesh? If you have to create, if America as a strategic partner or as an ally has to create problems for its ally and pull our growth back, then what good is this partnership? It's a huge divergence. If Bangladesh had this much radicalization before this whole story, it's now here. What do you do? And what good was it to go there? You still don't. I mean, America has fancy ideas of having a base in Bangladesh and all that. Won't work. It's not worked. It's not working. On the other hand, you ensured a radical Bangladesh has come up and China has got entry. You have no value there. What are those things which we are divergent and convergent about? China. What is China to both of us? It's too big. It's too big for USA to handle. It's too big for India to handle. But between India and USA, we join hands, we can handle. But are we doing it that way? I don't know what US attitude towards China is. One day you say G2, or the other say your containment. Third day you say something else. For us, it's very problematic. We have a boundary problem with China. We'll handle it. We have a military problem with China. We'll handle it. But we also need to realize we can just about handle it. You want to contain China, you want to put China in its place, you need USA. Otherwise, you can't do it. There are some fools in India who feel, oh, no, we can handle China, we'll do what you can't. Yeah, we have a damn good military. We have a damn good navy. We'll contend with China. But that's it. China, it's got a useless military, but it's got volume, quantity. Quantity has its own quality. In a defensive scenario, we'll handle it. We've handled it. But we are not talking of that. We're talking of power projection. We can't do it. I mean, our own people need to understand, to handle China with the way things are going, you need USA. And USA to handle China and the Indian Ocean region needs India, where there's no choice. Otherwise, the Red Sea lanes wouldn't have been open. You didn't carry out anti-piracy operations off the Somalian coast. India didn't open up the Red Sea corridors. US, but both navies put together did the trick to keep world trade going. And we are not cowards like Chinese, who are even now paying ransom to Somalian pirates. We are doing it together. We did it together. We should have recognized each other's capability and synergy, but we failed. Both failed to do so. Isn't it? Iran. What's happening in Iran? You want to stabilize it. Whatever happens in Iran is between USA and Iran and Israel. We're not interfered in it. But tomorrow you want to stabilize Iran, I bet my bottom dollar you'll need India. Without India's, goodwill in Iran, things won't right themselves. Even if it doesn't matter which kind of a government comes there, whether America is successful or not. Overall, if Iran has to be handled, you need. Otherwise, China will come in. You're ceding ground to China. That's as simple as that. Chabahar. Chabahar is not only India's requirement, it's US requirement. Because Chabahar and Afghanistan are connected. That means your Iran policy has to take into account Indian interests in Iran. You and the trade between India and Iran is minuscule, but it gives you a corridor to Afghanistan. If there's no corridor into Afghanistan, what happens to Afghanistan, which is your core interest? You want to go through Pakistan, back and feed Pakistan? Be my guest. Nepal. Would USA like or India like China to take over Nepal tomorrow and appear in Terai region? No. The future of Nepal will be best charted by India and Nepal together. India and USA together. There are going to be elections happening now. The past 20 years, we have been suffering communist governments in Nepal. Isn't it time to turn the tide? We're getting an opportunity together. Isn't it time to work together? What about the larger Indo-Pacific? We need both me understand what this thing of Indo-Pacific is. It'll be foolish on our part to think, no, we can handle Indian Ocean on our own. We can't. It'll be foolish on the part of USA to think you can do. Just today, New York Times, they came out with that thing where China amassed 1,200 or 1,400 boats in South China Sea spread over 290 kilometers to form a barrier. They're coming out. Look, the Chinese are coming out with new tactics of gray zone. They're going to test us in the gray zone with a potent nuclear and missile threat. Isn't it time that we got our act together on this science and technology? I'm linking science, technology, nuclear, space, all those things which are part of our agreements. What about IMEC? After all, this is what President Trump said, a corridor starting from Mumbai going up to New York. Are we working to that or not? Or now it's everyone on his own? Or is it a failure? That's why I said the in-between ones are all failures. Almost, if it could become a success, but it could be a failure. The divergences, of course, we can only handle the divergences if you can make the in-between ones a success. Are we having a dialogue on all these? There's no structured dialogue. As a strategic partner, we need to have a structured dialogue. Earlier, we had the mechanism of 2+2 during the Quad. I have not spoken of the Quad at all in this. Quad is gone out of the equation. And Quad was a felt need between both the countries. I've not mentioned Quad anywhere. The 2+2 dialogue structure is gone where you could discuss all these issues. Is there a case of better interculation between think tanks, YouTubers, and X, Y, Z, or whatever channels of communication? Well, there are binders between the two. All if that is all wish listing, these are hard realities. They bind each other. We USA and India are bound by with each other. USA has to live with the diaspora from India. You can't run away. A whole lot of your CEOs of your successful companies and part of the Magnificent Seven are from India and staffed by Indians. What about talent and human resources? You don't have it in the numbers you want. It is here. That is why you're setting up, global capability centers here. 2,000 of them at last count. So if America wants global capability centers to be set up, it can go back to China if it doesn't want India. And then you'll know what happens. What about the economic vitality of the fastest growing economy in the world? And that tag is not going to go away for the next 1 decade, irrespective of everything else. That I can take a guarantee. US has to live with this. These bind us. And that's what Rick McCormack was also saying. A large middle class which is growing creates a market of its own. And what does India have to think of? You need defense equipment, man. You can't get it from anywhere else. You think you will get anything from Russia? Forget it. Russia can give you something, but not everything. In any case, what we have contracted from Russia, we are not getting. You're not getting. Because of that Ukraine war. You need investment. Where will you get investment from? Without investment, nothing will grow in India. Till date, the maximum investment is still from US for the next 5 years. And we saying that we want to go to China for investment, they're not going to give you investment. We know today morning only I spoke of the fact that China will not give you technology or investment. They want your markets. Because Chinese can't consume, they know India can consume. They want you to open up your market so that you can consume. They'll give you some small carrots. That old story, small carrot, big stick. You need technology. These bind each other. You can't run away from this. Neither can USA run away, nor can India run away. So these are hard facts of life. And we need to live up to it. And the next part, it's a binder. Today it binds us. The trust deficit binds us. It binds us negatively. But it's there. The trust deficit is huge. How do you get over it? 25 years, whatever we have, India and USA has built, has gone in 1 year. Gone. The road back up is huge. At this point of time, I am not even looking at a strategic relationship. We are not going to be strategic partners for a long time. We just have to ensure that this relationship, which we cannot get out each other, they say it's better to be in no marriage than in a bad marriage. Unfortunately, we can't get away from that marriage with each other. We've got it. We have to live in this bad marriage. These are the binders which I said. You can't run away from each other. Okay? the defense equipment, and everything. I mean, you can't run away from each other. So you need to first overcome the trust deficit to ensure that the current relationship is okay. Only then we can think of anything else. And then we have to see our divergent objectives. USA wants to be a global hegemon. Fine. We need to be a regional power. Fine. What are the convergences in that? What are the commonalities in that? What are the rough ends of that? Can we sit across the table and talk? Has someone done that? We had a reasonable idea of it till 1 year back. India has to understand, okay, big league, we are in the big league. We are the fourth largest economy. You're in the big league. Today, what do I define as the big league? Look at this. China, EU, Russia, Japan, and USA are my big league. My equation with China is zero, almost. It's negative. We should, as Indians, we need to understand. Yeah, EU could be an alternative to USA, but has it been so for till date? We're now getting into FTA with EU, but our outcomes with any country in Europe has not been very great. It's a new journey. We must go that journey, but it's new. Russia, as much as the positives about Russia, which we talk with, we are glossing over our own negatives. Russia is giving engines to Pakistan to export JF-17. What is this? And they are opening Russian TV now in Pakistan, RT Pakistan. Their footprint with Pakistan and China are increasing, that triangle. And we say it is our super strategic partner. Mr. Putin is like the Pied Piper with a missile. He's making all of us dance. So is it time for us to be transactional with Russia on these issues? If that's the time, so be it. It's not as if Russia has helped us out. Russia was one of the countries also which didn't speak up during Op Sindoor. Don't forget it. At that time, I'd said, more than the noise of the enemies, the silence of our friends hit us most. And Russia was supposed to be our friend. Then, of course, Japan. Fine, Japan has been a trusted friend of India through history. But limited. Even Russia, limited. With its $2 trillion economy, you can't go further. You can't go further than a limit. Same thing with Japan. Japan is bound by so many restrictions and constrictions that you cannot take it forward. Yet, it's in the big league. And we need to deal with Japan. And I have a lot of hopes on Japan. I have a lot of hopes on EU. But they are in the thing. USA, it's one of your biggest trading partners. You can't say I'll leave it out. Let's flip the case. Let's look at it the other way around. Even for USA, these are the big partners, isn't it? It's in a mess of a relationship with the EU over Greenland. It's happening as we speak. China is out to get USA in one way or the other. It's on the back foot today. There are already some news that China is trying to help Iran out to defeat Starlink and hold the Iranian regime. Russia, of course, is completely against USA. It is seeing how to defeat Ukraine and how to defeat Trump. Japan has serious second thoughts on USA because of the nuclear issue and China and all that. And India and USA are not in great shape with each other. So USA is also not in a great shape. So what does USA do? Fight with everyone. And India, if I go back, India fights with everyone. Somewhere we need to give each other. We are supposed to be strategic partners. Well, so some of these things are the main thing. Let's see what's the way forward for us. It's not a zero sum game, India and US. Okay. If take it forward, you need a trade deal with reduced tariffs. Otherwise, there's no go. That's the bottom line. You have a base. That base has to be built through a trade deal and reduced tariffs. Right? You need to have a broad strategic understanding that the coming decade needs India and USA together for the world, and which means greater interculation at various levels. You have no choice. You have to accommodate it. We have to accommodate each other's interests and see the best. Maybe many points I've missed out, many issues I've missed out. It's okay. I'm only a human. Very clearly, India will continue with the multilateral policy. India will not be a subservient to US. On that, neither should US have a doubt, neither or should I have a doubt. No way. But there is a requirement for greater technology cooperation between both. It's happening. And that technology cooperation is happening in an obtuse manner through private sector. You need to formalize that. There will be ups and downs. At this point of time, we are in a down. We know it. So the idea is to put a trampoline underneath so that you can go up. Arrest the fall. There is a concerted effort, like the articles which I spoke of and the clips I showed, on both sides to right the situation. There is petulance from our side also. There are hotheads from here. When I speak about correcting the relationship, they say, "Oh, you're pro-American." Damn you! For my own side, you don't want to be pro-American. You don't want to be pro-Chinese. You don't want to be pro, anyone else. You want to be pro-Indian, and India doesn't have the capability. Then you say, no, you want the whole world. You want to become Vishwaguru. Vishwaguru you will become only if you first try to train yourself to be a guru and learn. You need to look at the long-term objective between the two nations. And we need to look beyond Trump. Trump is only next 3 years. For all you know, he might be a lame duck president. After that, what? Start looking at the long term. Well, this is what I had to say. Right? I hope you like this video. If you like this video, press the like button and also subscribe to Gunner Shot and join me as members. I'll take a few questions at this point of time. Right? See, like this, can't trust Trump. Rubio comes, trust him, Americans. All this we know. Yeah. These are questions which, we know. There's nothing. I said trust deficit is there. How do you overcome that? Tell me that. Thanks a lot, Fabin, for your super sticker. Thanks a lot. Yeah, he says, how does Pakistan gain so much confidence for sending drones almost daily, even after getting their bases smoked? You do it. Who's stopping you? Fabin says, yes, very good. I changed my stance now. Thanks a lot. You need to change your attitude. You can't be fixed. We must spend money on R&D. We don't. We must. We must do a lot of things, but we don't. We must understand our own limitations. That country spent a lot of money on R&D. It's got technology. It's not interested in giving it to you. How do you get it? Why should he give you technology? Okay. Yeah, General Shankar is pro-India without any engagement farming. Yeah, I I'm very clear. I might not get 10,000 views, but that doesn't matter. We need to speak the truth as Indians. If all of you have to go and listen to idiots who spew venom and say that's the best, it will not ever happen. You're living in la la land. You have to do the hard bit. You don't climb Mount Everest overnight. You still have to go walk up, get used to the cold, acclimatize, sweat, and risk death, and then come back. So Su-77 of F-35, which one should India procure as a stopgap measure? That's a decision which the forces will take. It's not my decision. How do I know what the deals are, what the terms and conditions of any one of them are? Let them take. My attitude full of violence because Gorkhas are not necessarily all violent. Huh? Please understand. Don't think yourself as a Superman. I have also dealt with Gorkhas. If you are a Gorkha who is only violent, you're a fool. I've dealt my entire life with Gorkhas, and Gorkhas are good people, honorable people. They're not violent. Every Gorkha doesn't go start killing each other. Yeah, we too need to be transitional with it. I agree with you. Be transactional. No harm. If he is transactional, you be transactional and go nowhere. In the end, you'll go nowhere. You take a call. As India, we should take a call. Why? We don't want USA. Give it up. And be prepared to face the consequences of that giving up. There are consequences, price which India has to pay for a break with USA. First and foremost, you lose 30 to 40 billion dollars. Take it, take that risk. Because all that equipment which is lying, which is meant for defense of India, you will not get a spare from there, even if you pay for it. Break. And then what happens? नंगे खड़े हो जाओगे रास्ते पे. ये मैं बता रहा हूं आप लोगों को. I feel India is not looking for defense deal with USA. You have done. What are you talking? The fundamentals of the only thing which is holding India US relationship is defense. Everything else is gone. Why we as Indians try to be in good books of every country? We don't have to be. We don't have to be. I agree with you. We are not goody boys, yeah. We need not be goody boys. Yeah, in this world, we need to cooperate on issues where we find interest to be parallel, even with our adversary, and vehemently oppose them when the interest goes against it. There's no doubt. Yeah, very good informative. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's what USA wants everyone to fight with each other so USA can emerge as a winner. Is that happening? It doesn't happen. Why are we bothered about what USA wants? What do you want? What do we want? We should be clear about what we want. If we are to step into the big league, we need to give something more to our neighbors. Forget about the neighbors, Pugal. See, you are in the big league, whether you like it or not, you're the fourth largest economy. If you're not in the big league, you just shut up and get lost. Don't talk. Don't tom that you are in the fourth largest economy and all. अपना बोरी बिस्तर बांधो और चलते बढ़ो भैया. Be clear as to what you want and you don't want. From Russia perspective, historically, India is another playground in Cold War with West. I'll not say so. Russia was not transactional. The USSR was not transactional. It was ideological. But Russia has been transactional. There have been times, let me tell you, I can quote the times, I know it, where they refused many things to India. Our relationship with USA will be largely dictated by what USA does with China and Russia. Until then, we do what we have been doing, just trade. I don't agree with you. We have to develop an equation with USA the way we want. We need to have that, take that relationship forward. Otherwise, you're only reactive. USA is a paper printer masquerading as a country. This is again extreme thinking. Be rational, yeah. They be rational. They went to the moon in 1964. After that, no country has gone to the moon. Nor have countries before that gone to the moon or after that gone to the moon. They have forgotten more about space technology than you have learnt. Let's have our fundas clear. Yeah, General Shankar has been maintaining a consistent and pragmatic view on China, and it has all been proven correct when all others were carrying completely different perspectives. We have to be clear as to what we are, and okay, here this fellow comes, live and let die, live. Missing in binder, son and daughter and family of bureaucrats living there. You're an idiot and you'll remain one. Live and let live. There's no doubt about it. There are 3 million Indians living there. They're not sons of bureaucrats or my sons and daughters. They're all my sons and daughters. Ultimately, they're Indians. There are 3 million. You go to you go to many colleges here, or children, they want to go to USA. Their aim is to go to USA. Their ambition is to go to USA. तुम यहाँ आके बेवकूफ की तरफ बात कर रहे हो. There must be some reason for their children, for people in India sending people to USA, even by illegal methods. Let's live in reality and not talk nonsense here. Yeah, people don't get it, Shankarji. They live in La La Land and showing off how hot-blooded they can be on YouTube. That's the problem. You have to approach this problem head on, square on, understand the realities, and go as per the fundamentals. You don't build a house from the top, do you? You build it brick by brick from a foundation. The walls have to come up with a foundation and then the finishing and all that. You guys want everything in the top? We are not that great a nation. We are a great nation, but we are not that great. Nobody has given India high tech. India has developed. I agree with you. Nobody will give you. And don't think that you developed all high tech. ठीक है ना? Don't think you developed high tech. You're not. You have developed high tech, but there's a lot way to go. We should never get into that idea that you are the Gyani, that you have all tech, high tech you need. Then you're a fool. The day we start thinking like that, we are fools. And I'm a guy who's involved in high tech. And I still feel there's a long way to go. Our system is not correct for high tech. See, there are a lot of people who have a lot of cribs and this thing, but that's okay. See, we are the greatest. He's a scumbag. That's his name is there. We are the greatest. We are not the greatest. Let's be very clear. Yeah. Thanks for putting out the pragmatic picture. You see, buffoons like him who says we are the greatest are the ones who are killing India. You're a buffoon. Hai ye. To think that you are the greatest, you are a buffoon. So I put across my viewpoint. I mean, whether you like it or not, this is it. This is a hard reality. If you don't accept this hard reality, you are living in la la land. You can, you'll keep doing only that. Your level will not grow up. You will not grow up. The first thing about looking, when you see a peak, have you ever climbed a mountain? You look at the top and say, that's so far away. But you look down and put your head down and start climbing up. समझ में आया? हिंदी में अगर बड़ा पहाड़ है, चट्टान चढ़ना है ना, ऊपर देखते हो कि भाई इतना लंबा चौड़ा रास्ता है, ऊपर देख के आप चढ़ नहीं सकते हो, नीचे जमीन देख के एक एक कदम ऊपर बढ़ाना पड़ता है, एक एक कदम आगे बढ़ाना पड़ता है. उसके लिए सहयोग चाहिए, बुद्धि चाहिए. चाहे आप यूएसए के साथ दोस्ती बना रहे हो या ना बना रहे. Okay. So what I would suggest is reframe your way of thinking. Yeah, like this says Chinese General Sun will be giving orders in Beijing, not working on US-1 merit. Yeah, because he's a princeling. The Chinese General Sun is a princeling. Politically, whether he's good, bad, or ugly, he's buying his way up. Your children and my children can't. They have to struggle democratically. Right? So we'll leave it at that. So I've given my point of view. I hope people see it. I hope people in India see it, people in USA see it. Well, it's up to everyone to act or not act. With this, thanks a lot. Have a great day and Jai Hind to all of you.